So, at this point, we're not sure what to do. Um,
Hmm.
my wife wants us to figure it out, and I agree. Like, we don't know. She runs off or she yells. I say the wrong thing, or my wife says the wrong thing, and she's just, worst case, she storms off to her room. We don't know what's happening, right? She's
Yeah.
gonna hurt herself or something.
What did you think about the big picture, kind of like the summary I sent you with kind of my big picture of what's going on?
Sure. I don't, I don't, I guess there was one part that I kind of drew my attention, I guess. I don't know. Where it was like about me problem solving.
Uh-huh.
And you know, I am a problem solver. And the idea, the pitch that it's a problem is, I felt like a bit of a stretch, I
Hmm.
guess, was the thing. Like, I'm not really clear again on how that's a problem.
Gotcha. Well, it's not a problem generally, right? But if you're doing it with almost every interaction with her, then it might be a bit of an overkill.
Okay, sure. Um, so maybe I could give you an example of something that happened recently, and you can tell me what I should have done instead. Right?
Well, actually, I think that if we do that and if we just go from situation to situation to situation, the game whack-a-mole, we'll
Yeah,
end up kind of all over the place. And so I think it might be better to focus today on making sure we're on the same page about exactly what we're working on and what we're working towards. Because otherwise, we could just go in different directions every 10 minutes in our sessions.
sure. Yeah, that's fine. Um, but I think this example will really help to guide that, to make sure that we're headed in the right direction.
Okay, why don't you tell me what happened?
Well, okay, so I'd had a rough day. This was last week, and so I had a rough day. I came in from work. I'm already tired. She's got her head down, and she's just sitting there moping and stuff. And so I was like, whatever. I go and get a shower. I go get a snack, come back. She's in like the exact same spot. And she looks up, like, does one of those like teenage, like, scoff sigh things. And then, like, looks at her phone and starts reading on her phone. And then just puts her head back down. And okay. You know, I tried to kind of try to be patient. I say, okay, what's wrong? Like, did you have a bad day? What's up? And she goes, nothing, right? Like, does her thing. And I'm like, dude, one, hey, like, I did nothing wrong here. What's up? Why are you yelling at me? What? And she starts immediately going in about some test that she didn't do very well on. And, it's geography. So it's like stuff I know she knows.
Mm.
And she at some point says, oh, she didn't really study for it, right? But she's saying, oh, it's too hard, blah, 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 blah. And so I told her, well, if you don't work for it, if you're not going to study, how do you think you're just going to get, you know, an A on this? How do you think it's just going to work out, right? Like, that's not how life is. That's not how work is. Right? And so I'm trying to tell her this, and she just starts yelling worse and just run like she does her storm off thing, goes off to her room, right?
Well, how would you have wanted that to go differently?
I mean, what would I want her to do? I'd
Sure.
like her to hear me and then start working hard, right? Like, to realize at the very least that if you don't study, uh, the test isn't going to go too well. Like, that's not a surprise, and not be surprised by it.
So, I mean, it sounds like you want her to listen to you, to learn from you, from your experiences.
I guess. I mean, what I really want is for her to have the lesson. I don't think I have to be a part of it. It'd be nice if she heard that kind of stuff and then realized it on
Well,
her own.
if no one else will, is that a lesson you want to impart on her? Is that
Yeah,
something you
like
want to
if
teach
nobody
her?
else is going to,
Mm.
then sure, right? Like her grandparents are said that she's spoiled and she and her brother are spoiled and stuff, and I said they weren't, and it makes me rethink it in moments like that, right? Like
So you want to teach her the value of hard work. That's something you want to teach her.
I want her to learn the value of hard
Yeah.
work.
So here's the thing, the only way that I know for her to learn from you and to listen to you is for you to validate her.
I don't. Okay.
Right? So when you're in sales, right, at work,
Yeah.
excuse me. So when you have a client and you're trying to sell something to the client, you don't just go in there and tell them that they should buy the thing or make the purchase and just take your word for it and that's it, right?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm guessing that you finesse them, you try to get their guard down, try to help them feel comfortable, that you understand what they're going through, understand their problem in a real way. Because otherwise, they're not going to be open to hearing about your product.
Sure.
Your kid is no different than your client, and you've got to finesse her. You got to help her feel like you get it, that you understand where she's coming from before she can be open to any solution or lesson from you.
Okay. So if this were a sale, right? What's my time to, put my foot in the door and I've started making my pitch? What is my expected
I would give this at least a few months
to even start seeing any improvement?
to see something very significant after consistently working on this. Right? You don't have to do this. Like you could walk away. You can go, you know, look for someone else to work on this with you. I'm just telling you the way that I know to do it. The way that DBT knows to do it. It's and that's and it's the same strategy that you use with your clients. You don't have to do
Well,
this.
I don't think I'm going to not hear it at home if I don't try something.
Yeah.
And I want it to work because this ain't working. This isn't working. And I don't. So, okay. Um,
So the first step would be maybe in the next week,
yeah.
you are not giving solutions. You're not giving lessons. You're not teaching. You are just listening and giving her the sense that you understand, just like you would with a new client.
Okay. I do that.
So
For
you're
one,
you're schmoozing her in the next week.
yeah, that's fine. I can do that. So for like a week, 2 weeks.
So we're gonna start with a week and see how next week we can meet and see, usually when you're in such a habit of problem solving, it's not going to go perfectly. So we'll see how it went. But your task is to just finesse her.
Okay. Yeah.
The ultimate